The only other tool we have down here that we haven't looked at is our house. When I select house, this is my home option. My home option, you can see, will bring up any input that I have, and I can select it with my pen. You'll see it reacting as I move the pen closer. So if I had something in a second HDMI input, maybe I had a document camera, I could select it here. This is my main computer, my HDMI 1. I have HDMI 3, maybe I have a USB plug-in for a dock cam or something like that. I could select that here as well. At the bottom, you can access either your whiteboard, as we previously looked at. You have a split screen option we'll look at in a second. The connection guide and screen sharing are not something we're really going to focus on this year because that's not going to be as useful for a classroom teacher. And then the other one we have here is settings, and there's not much that you should have to do with settings. So looking here at our main input selector of HDMI 1, if I select it, you can see it brings up my home screen for my computer, everything that I've been working on here. So I'm going to come back to the house, and let's say I want to do a split screen, not just of my whiteboard and my computer. Perhaps I want my computer and a second input, say a document camera or something like that. So I could have a worksheet on this side, and I could have a document camera on this side, things that we're working on together. I can select split screen, and it will bring up a couple options for me. I can either have 2 screens or 4 screens. With these boards, I don't recommend 4 screens because the boxes are going to be so small, they'll be difficult to see. So if we select 2 screens, it's going to go ahead and pull up my first screen, and it's assuming that my second screen is my HDMI. So I have 2 things plugged in. Down here you can see screen right is HDMI 2, and I don't have a signal in there. But I have a new box that showed up, and that's my 4 screens right here in my screen sharing. So when I select that, now I can choose what I want in each screen. So for example, if I have HDMI 1, which is my first screen here on the left, HDMI 2, which is my second screen on the right, I could select USB if I had something like a document camera that I wanted to select here, or screen mirroring. I could do 2 screens. So if you're somebody who likes the split screen, have your computer and then your interactive whiteboard, you could have your computer and your whiteboard showing up in 2 different locations. You can also change the screen size down here. This is your preference. They're either equally split, or as we've seen before with the whiteboard, I'd have one side bigger than the other side, or I could make my right side the larger one. Once that's set, I select execute, and it will carry out what I've just asked, which of course takes us back here because we don't have anything plugged into our USB right now. So again, down here at the house, you have a couple options, and one of the most useful being your input selector and split screen. When you've selected split screen, you'll now get a split screen icon down here. Give it 1 second, there you go. Split screen icon down here, and that's where you can choose your inputs for each screen.